Hi, it's Coach Jen. I wanted to talk to you about some things. It's a little hard for me. I'm going to share with you some things that I wasn't going to share with you yet. I was going to wait until the results that I know are going to happen have actually physically happened, and then I could show people that this has actually happened. And instead, I decided I'm going to just share with you a part of my story, a part that only a few people are even aware of, and some people may not even be aware of the entirety of this part of my story. I am a firm believer in law of attraction, and when you have things going on that you don't want to draw more attention to, you just don't talk about it. So I don't talk about these things because I don't want to focus my energy and my intention on these things. I want to focus my energy and intention on things I want to have in my life. So that's part of why I don't share this stuff, And nobody really wants to listen to a complainer. So I'm not sharing to complain. I'm sharing to let you know I'm just as human as you are, that we've all got these things going on in our lives, and it's what we do with these things that make us who we are. These things help us learn and evolve and develop clarity about the things we want to have in our lives. So they're not even necessarily very bad things, although they may seem so at the time. It's just that it's part of becoming who we want to become. So back in 2014, I lost my job at the heating and cooling company, and I decided I went on unemployment and was looking at more customer service administrative assistant type work. Not my favorite. I definitely was not happy with where I was when I did have that job. Because the original purpose was I was only supposed to be dealing with the phones some of the time. Most of the time I was going to be doing more administrative work where you're entering in things, information, data, filing, that sort of stuff. That's where I excel. I'm very detail oriented, and I can look at things and sort them out and organize them and put them together. Having to deal with clients on the phone, not my thing. I'm an introvert. I really dislike talking on the phone. I have a great phone voice, but I really disliked having to do that. Cold calls or receiving calls, really do not like it. If you call me and I actually answer the phone when you call me, you're special. Believe me, that is the truth. If I see a number I don't recognize it, I don't pick it up. It goes to voicemail. I'll call you back, but it goes to voicemail. So this is why having a job that turned into a customer service job over time was not a good fit for me at all. And so losing that job was actually definitely a blessing. I was unhappy. They were unhappy with me being there. It was a good thing to go. So backtracking. In the meantime, before all this had happened, I had run into my coach, Lisa, and she had done a clean eating challenge, and so I got involved with that and became Facebook friends with her. And so she, of course, would follow along with things that I was doing and saying, and would comment on them and support me, and in my journey, as I would occasionally post some yummy food things that I made, or talk about going to the gym, that sort of stuff. And then she asked me after I had participated in that group about being a Beachbody coach. I'm like, no, that's not for me. I'm not into that sort of thing. Even though I was the one sitting there in the group and even with my friends talking about some great fitness ideas or meal ideas that would be healthier alternatives to what they were doing. I was like, no, that's just not my thing. I don't want to be a part of that. So when I lost my job, she approached me again. And I still said, no, I'm going to look for another job like this, and then maybe I'll look into being a coach on the side. So I exhausted my unemployment looking for work. I was sending out resumes. I even interviewed. I had a few interviews during that, 6-week time or 6 month, I don't remember. And I still didn't get a job. And I'm very smart. I pick up on stuff very easily. I'm very confident when I go into interviews. So I know that it wasn't that I wasn't doing the right things, or at least not consciously doing the right things. It was that I didn't want this kind of work. I was kind of done with having to be told what to do all the time and having it to be exactly how this person wants it to be, even though I might be more comfortable doing it in a slightly different way. But because this person is the one who's paying me, I have to do it this way. I was tired of having to deal with customer service. And that's the only type of work that I've ever done. So even though I have a biology degree, I never used it. There's no way I could have gotten work using my biology degree. So there were reasons why I didn't get hired doing that kind of work. So once I got to the end of that and went, oh my goodness, how am I going to survive without any income whatsoever? I finally decided to say yes. She never stopped asking me during all of this time, from the time we first met until this moment. She never stopped asking me. And then I finally said, yes, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to jump off the deep end and we're going to give it a shot. So I did this completely differently than anybody else who usually gets into Beachbody. Usually people get into Beachbody because they try a Beachbody product and they decide they really like it. And then they decide, then their coach keeps talking to them and eventually they decide, hey, you know what? I can make money off this. Why don't I become a coach? I went into it going, I need to do something to make some money. And here's an opportunity right in front of my face. Why don't I give it a shot? So I never do anything the easy way. I always pick up the hard way. And this is exactly the hardest way to get into being a Beachbody coach, is to have no income coming in whatsoever except for doing this. I actually did end up getting a part-time job visiting with an elderly lady. So I did have some income coming in, but it's part-time. It's really tiny. So, I got bills to pay. I got a car payment. I got a phone. At that time I had an apartment, and so then utilities. So I had all these bills I had to pay, and I'm like, how am I going to do this on like this tiny little income? So that's why I decided to say yes to the coaching opportunity. And I have to admit, there was a lot of it. There's a learning curve. I did a lot of that coaching training stuff, but it wasn't reaching me in the way it needed to reach me. Everybody's learning style is very different. Where people are at emotionally is going to affect how they pick up the material that they're given. If they're given material that's on a different level than they are, it's none of it's going to register. And that's kind of what was happening to me. I was seeing what they were telling me and on how to approach this, is it really pushing me out of my comfort zone. Again, I'm an introvert, and a lot of these things are forcing me to be an extrovert. They're telling me I should be making phone calls with people. I'm like, no phone calls. This has to be able to be done in another way. I can't make phone calls. And then constantly having to invite people. Again, I have to make friends with people. I don't make friends with people. They come to me, and then I'm friendly, and they decide they like me, So it's another thing that's pushing me out of my comfort zone. So it took me this whole year to really work on developing myself. I've done a ton of personal development and getting me into a position where I can feel more confident in what I'm doing as a coach. It took me some professional development, and I'm finally probably 6 to 8 months into it going, maybe I should read these books that people are recommending that I should read. Like You Are Badass. Everybody, I don't care what you're doing for your living, everybody needs to read that book. That is the most awesome book ever. It will change your life if you read that book. But just reading some of the professional development books really helped me learn some things. Looking videos up on YouTube or podcasts up on YouTube and how to learn to use social media. That was another thing. I had been using Facebook for my friends and family to connect that way, but I hadn't used it as a business. So I had to learn how to use a public page and what makes a public page work. And now I noticed yesterday I had a post that I had put on there that I got over 4,000 people. I think last night when I looked at it, it was like 4,400 people had actually seen my post. There were 180 views of the video. Your public page tells you this information. When you look at it, I'm like, I've never seen a number like that, So now I'm trying to figure out what the magic formula is that I did to get there. It may just be it was a lucky day. I'm not sure what the magic formula is for that, because usually my posts don't get that kind of hit, I don't have that many people that have liked my page so far, so there's no way I should be getting that kind of a hit just from people who like my page. It's showing up in people's news feeds for other reasons. So that's what's increasing the viewing of my page. But I had to explore social media and how to use it in order to learn this information and do things like hashtags. I never really played with Twitter. I didn't understand this whole hashtag thing. I had to really take a crash course in using hashtags and what to do with that so I could bump up Instagram and so I could do this. Again, this is all professional development. This is stuff that I had to learn over this whole year process. So now I'm going to take you to January. This whole time, once I was off unemployment, I actually qualified for food stamps. Not a lot. I don't have any dependents, and I do make some money. So I don't get a huge amount for food stamps, but I do qualify for them. So I've been getting food stamps so I could eat, because it really came down to pay bills or eat. And I really like food, so it's a necessary thing. I'm not proud of having to get food stamps. I'd rather not have to need food stamps, actually. I'm willing to bet that everybody who gets them is in the same boat. They'd rather not have to need this. They'd rather be in a better position so they don't need to have these things. But we're all very grateful that this exists so that it's one less thing to stress me out. It's one less thing to cause a stressor in my life, because not eating makes you hungry, which puts a lot of stress on your body. Forget working out. It just puts stress on your body, period. So nobody wants to go there. So having, having those food stamps so I could still keep up with my nutrition. And it's not even about looks, it's about health. So I can still keep up with my nutrition, so I can keep healthy. So I don't have to go to the doctor, because before this whole Obamacare stuff came through, I couldn't do healthcare either. I can't afford to be sick, So that's another thing about making sure that I'm doing what I can to stay healthy. So in January this year, I needed to renew my food stamps, because it's been a year. And I ran into a snafu with the food stamp thing. I had submitted all my papers. I had done the phone interview, and they were supposed to be mailing me out some papers that needed to get signed and returned. I never got them. So I tried calling, and anybody who lives in Cuyahoga County and is familiar with ODJFS in Cuyahoga County knows how that building works. If you actually get somebody to answer a phone, or you actually get somebody to return a phone call, and you didn't have to file a complaint, you're the star. And I want to know what your magic formula is in order to get that to happen, because everybody else that I know of has had to be the squeaky wheel in the loudest way possible in order to get anybody to come back to them. And in my case, it was filing a complaint. But I never got the papers. And then after I filed the complaint, a person told me what happened, and they said that, according to their records, it was mailed out, but they were mailing me out another set of papers. Never got those papers either. So now I'm really frustrated. And I was told I was denied because my papers never made it back in. So I had to file an appeal. And this is when it finally all started to settle out, that I got my food stamps through again. and this is the hard part. I'm telling the world, because this is going to be public. I'm going to have this on YouTube. I'm telling the world that here I am, 45 years old, and I'm on food stamps. It's very hard for me to admit this. So, but the good news is that this is all resolved, and I do have that again. The even better news is that I am in a much different place this year than I was last year. And what I see with Beachbody coaching opportunity is that many, many, many people have gone through very similar struggles that I have. Some people shorten their time for their struggles, and some people have a longer time for the struggles. We're all different. We're all going to vary on how long our struggles are. But many people have gone through these struggles, and then they get to a point where everything just kind of clicks for them. Everything that they've been absorbing and working on during that time just clicked, and then bam, it takes off. And then these people are now multimillionaires in this business alone, not even including any side income that they have going on. They're just doing it with this business alone. So this is why I believe in this business opportunity. Why I believe in the Beachbody company as a whole is because the motto is to help others. And that is exactly what I do as a coach. I can't tell you how many times I talk to people and I'm encouraging and I'm supporting and I get feedback back about how inspiring I am. And I have zero, I'm not even pushing to try to make this person a customer or a paying customer. It's just me seeing somebody needing a little bit of help and a little bit of encouragement. And so there I am. That's what I'm doing, because that's what I do. That's what I did before I became a coach. I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still there saying, hey, I'm there for you. I see your struggle. I've been there. I still go through it sometimes. We all do this, and, what do you need? I can help you get through this. And, that's totally what this whole Beachbody coaching is all about. It's not about being the rock star. It's not about being that bikini competition model. Eventually you'll probably get there. If that's what your goal is, you're going to get there using these products. But that's not what this company is about. This company is about being healthier, and it's about helping other people to be healthier along the way. And so they're compensating us for doing that. And that is why I love this company. And I love this opportunity because it allows me to set my schedule. So I get up when I want to get up or need to get up in order to get the things that I want to get done during the day. I can still work that part-time job taking care of that elderly lady, and I still can have time to go do things like my acting. And if my acting happens during the day, it happens in the evening. If I have an audition that happens during the day or the evening or whatever, I can arrange my time spending on Beachbody coaching around all of that, so I can still do that sort of thing. Because one of the dreams I've had since I was a tiny, tiny child, and it's probably because my mom put this in my head about what a great actress I was when she was doing my hair, and my sisters know what that's all about. One of my dreams has always been to act, to be an actress, not just for fun, but to do this professionally. So I'm in the process of doing that as well. And I can guarantee that if I had a standard job working customer service like I tried to get into back in 2014 when I lost that other job, I wouldn't be here. I would still be that person who did not have that self-confidence to think that it is possible at 45 years old to break into the acting industry and make some money off of it. So that is my goal. That is my dream. And Beachbody is going to help me get there, because Beachbody is going to be taking care of my financial interests while I'm working on building up my acting interests. So this is kind of an accountability video. I'm putting this out there. You can see where I'm at now. let's see where I'm at 6 months to a year from now, and see where I've gone. You guys are here. You're hearing it first. And thank you for listening. I know I kind of rambled. Thank you for sharing my journey with me. And thank you for being so understanding when I share some of the most heartfelt and hard to say things, whether it's verbally written out or here in a video. Everybody has always been so supportive and loving and caring, and given back to me in the best way possible. So I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. And thank you for being in my life and following me on this journey. And I hope that I can help you on your journey, just to give back. Thanks for watching. Bye.